Eggsy suddenly wakes up in total shock. The entire room is already filling with water, and it is rising fast. In just seconds, everyone inside will drown with nowhere to escape. As the water climbs higher, Eggsy and the other candidates take one last deep breath and desperately search for a way out. But the room is sealed tight. Eggsy reacts quickly and rushes toward the door, only to find it completely locked. Some of the others try pulling out the shower hose and forcing it into the toilet to create a small air pocket, hoping to buy themselves a few extra seconds. Then Eggsy notices a large mirror on the wall. Without hesitating, he starts punching it over and over again. It turns out to be a two-way mirror, and someone has been watching them from the other side. As the glass finally cracks, the trap is broken, and they are saved from certain death. But this is only the beginning. Just the first test in a brutal training process designed to select the next member of Kingsman, the Secret Service. The story then takes us back to 1997. A team of secret agents infiltrates a castle in the Middle East on a critical mission. During the operation, one of the agents, Lee Unwin, sacrifices himself to protect his superior, Harry Hart, from a suicide bomber. Lee dies, saving Harry's life. From that moment on, Harry carries the weight of guilt, blaming himself for the loss of a loyal friend. After returning to London, Harry visits Lee's wife, Michelle, and their young son, Eggsy, to offer his condolences. Michelle, still devastated by her husband's death, refuses the medal Harry brings as a token of honor. Instead, Harry gives the medal to young Eggsy and tells him to keep it safe. He explains that there is an emergency number on the back, one he can call if he ever needs help. Before leaving, Harry reminds the boy to take care of himself and to protect his mother. 17 years later, a professor named Arnold is being held captive in a remote mountain cabin. Suddenly, there is a knock at the door. When one of the captors opens it, a sharply dressed man is standing outside. Within moments, he eliminates everyone inside. The man is Lancelot, a Kingsman agent who once worked alongside Harry, the same mission that cost Eggsy's father his life. Lancelot rescues the professor and prepares to escort him out. But before he can leave, a woman named Gazelle appears and kills him. Gazelle is an assassin working for Richmond Valentine, an internet billionaire and philanthropist who has been distributing free SIM cards that offer unlimited calls and internet access worldwide. Valentine is the one who orchestrated Arnold's kidnapping. With Lancelot dead and the rescue failed, Valentine convinces the professor to cooperate with him instead. Meanwhile, Harry walks into a tailor shop called Kingsman. On the surface, it looks like a high-end clothing store. In reality, it is the headquarters of a secret intelligence agency founded by British elites who lost their heirs in World War I. Using their wealth, they created a private organization dedicated to protecting the world from threats no one else could handle. Harry steps into a private meeting room at Kingsman headquarters, where he joins his superior, Arthur, and the other senior members of the organization. They discuss the failed rescue mission that led to Lancelot's death. With one of their agents gone, they agree that it is time to recruit a new candidate to take his place. After the meeting ends, Merlin, the technical expert of Kingsman, enters with new findings about the incident. He shares what he has uncovered about the mission and the circumstances surrounding Lancelot's death. Arthur then assigns Harry to continue Lancelot's work, investigate Professor Arnold's involvement, and uncover who was responsible for killing their agent. The story then shifts to Eggsy, now all grown up. Despite his intelligence and natural talent, he was forced to drop out of training for the Royal Marines. Instead of living up to his potential, he finds himself stuck at home with his mother, his abusive stepfather, Dean, and his baby sister. His relationship with Dean is tense and hostile. Dean constantly mocks him and treats Michelle poorly. Even so, Eggsy deeply cares about his little sister and does his best to look out for her. One night at his usual bar, Eggsy and his friends get into an argument with a group of thugs who happen to work for Dean. The situation nearly turns violent, but Eggsy decides to walk away and tells his friends to leave before things spiral out of control. Once outside, Eggsy reveals that he managed to steal the car keys from one of the thugs. Without thinking twice, he and his friends jump into the car and take it for a reckless ride, mocking its owner as payback for the earlier humiliation. Unfortunately, the police quickly spot them. Eggsy tries to outrun the patrol cars, but when he is finally cornered, he tells his friends to escape while he takes the blame. He is arrested and taken into custody, facing up to 18 months in prison. Sitting in jail, Eggsy remembers the medal Harry once gave him. Desperate, he calls the number engraved on the back. Not long after, Harry arranges his release and personally picks him up from the station. They head back to Eggsy's favorite bar, where Harry reveals the truth. He is a Kingsman agent, just like Eggsy's father once was. His codename is Galahad. When Dean's men show up again and one of them insults Harry, the situation escalates. Within moments, Harry effortlessly defeats them, leaving Eggsy stunned by his skill and composure. Later, when Eggsy returns home, Dean attacks him for causing trouble with his men. Michelle tries to intervene, but Dean threatens her with a knife. Fortunately, Harry had secretly placed a tracking device on Eggsy earlier. Through it, he warns Dean that the police will be notified if he does not back off. Confused and intimidated, Dean finally releases Eggsy. Harry then asks Eggsy to meet him at the Kingsman tailor shop. When Eggsy arrives, Harry explains that Kingsman is searching for a new recruit to replace Lancelot, the agent who died on the mission. Harry takes Eggsy to the main Kingsman headquarters, where the real training begins. Alongside several other candidates, Eggsy must face a series of intense trials designed by Merlin. There he meets Roxy, a sharp and capable candidate recommended by another Kingsman agent, and Charlie, a wealthy young man who constantly looks down on him. That very night, the first test begins. It is brutal and unexpected, pushing everyone to their limits. In the end, Eggsy and the remaining candidates survive, proving they have what it takes to move forward. Meanwhile, Merlin discovers that Professor Arnold has returned to work as if nothing ever happened after his kidnapping. Harry decides to confront him at Imperial College London, hoping to uncover who killed Lancelot. But during the interrogation, a microchip implanted in Arnold's neck suddenly explodes, killing him instantly. Moments later, two attackers ambush Harry and detonate explosives, turning the situation into chaos. At the same time, Valentine moves forward with his plan, presenting it as a bold solution to save humanity. Behind closed doors, he begins influencing powerful figures, even reaching into the White House to secure support for what he claims is a necessary step for the future. It becomes clear that Valentine planted the microchip in Arnold's neck. The device is designed to detonate automatically if the person feels threatened or afraid, ensuring silence at the worst possible moment. Harry survives the attack, but requires medical treatment back at Kingsman headquarters. Training continues for Eggsy and the remaining candidates. The challenges grow even more dangerous, and one by one, participants are eliminated. As part of their preparation, each candidate is given a puppy to raise and train, forming a bond with an animal that will one day become their field partner. Elsewhere, Valentine persuades the King of Sweden to approve his chip implant proposal by promising global safety. The king agrees, but Princess Tilda firmly rejects the plan. In response, Valentine orders Gazelle to abduct her. With his injuries healed, Harry prepares to resume his mission. Eggsy visits him and proudly shares his progress in the training program. Merlin then reveals a crucial discovery. The explosion that killed Professor Arnold has been traced back to Valentine's company, the same company manufacturing the controversial chips. Eggsy, Harry, and Merlin watch a promotional video in which Valentine enthusiastically markets his latest SIM cards. He claims they offer unlimited free calls and internet access to everyone. With Merlin's help, Harry adopts the identity of a wealthy philanthropist willing to invest heavily in Valentine's company, securing a personal invitation to dinner at Valentine's home. Valentine, however, is already suspicious. During the dinner, he secretly slips a nano-tracking gel into Harry's drink to monitor his movements. Afterward, Harry reports his findings to Arthur. He also uncovers a disturbing connection between Valentine and a radical church group in Kentucky. At the same time, the number of missing world leaders and influential figures continues to rise, just as demand for Valentine's SIM cards explodes worldwide. Back at Kingsman training, the candidates face one of their most dangerous tests yet, a high-altitude parachute jump. Only Eggsy, Roxy, and Charlie pass and move on to the next stage. The final three are then subjected to a loyalty test. Bound to railway tracks, they are pressured during interrogation to reveal confidential information about Kingsman. In the loyalty test, only Eggsy and Roxy pass. They stay silent under pressure and refuse to reveal anything about Kingsman, while Charlie chooses to protect himself instead.
Eggsy, I just killed 2 of your friends who give me the same bullshit answer.
Congratulations.
Just the king is Arthur. Arthur's head of a spy agency is called Kingsman.
With Charlie eliminated, the final decision comes down to just the two of them. Eggsy is summoned to Arthur's office, while Roxy is called in to see Merlin. The last test will determine who becomes the new Kingsman agent. But this final challenge proves too much for Eggsy. He is ordered to shoot the puppy he has raised and trained throughout the program. Unable to bring himself to do it, he refuses. Because of that choice, he fails. Roxy is selected as the new agent and takes on the title of Lancelot. Disappointed but still holding on to his dog, Eggsy returns home. He is happy to see his mother, but that happiness quickly turns to anger when he notices bruises on her face caused by Dean. As Eggsy prepares to confront his stepfather, Harry steps in and pulls him away. He reveals the truth about the final test. The gun given to the candidates was loaded with blanks. The entire test was meant to measure compassion, not cruelty. Before they can process it further, Merlin contacts Harry with urgent news. Valentine is about to test his SIM card signal on a church congregation in Kentucky. Harry immediately heads there, wearing glasses equipped with a video transceiver so Merlin and Eggsy can monitor the situation. Once Harry arrives, Valentine activates the SIM card signal inside the church. The frequency triggers extreme violence among the congregation, and even Harry is affected. However, his training gives him the edge, and he becomes the sole survivor of the massacre.
Been affected, whether they have a
Realizing that the signal has manipulated him as well, Harry stumbles outside. There, Valentine calmly explains what just happened and outlines his plan. Then, without hesitation, he shoots Harry. No! Watching everything unfold through the transceiver, Eggsy and Merlin are left in shock. With Harry gone, Eggsy rushes back to Kingsman headquarters to confront Arthur. But something feels wrong. Eggsy quickly notices a scar on Arthur's neck, identical to the one Professor Arnold had. Arthur admits that Valentine plans to transmit a neurological wave across the globe using satellites. According to Valentine, drastically reducing the world's population now will prevent future extinction caused by climate change. Arthur believes the argument. He explains that only those chosen by Valentine will be protected from the signal. Arthur then attempts to eliminate Eggsy with a poisoned drink. Anticipating the move, Eggsy cleverly switches the glasses. Arthur ends up drinking the poison himself. Afterward, Eggsy removes the chip from Arthur's neck and hands it to Merlin. Together with Roxy, they quickly develop a plan to stop Valentine. Roxy is assigned to destroy one of Valentine's satellites using high-altitude balloons.
You can do this, okay?
Meanwhile, Merlin and Eggsy analyze the chip taken from Arthur. Merlin discovers that the chip can actually shield its wearer from the violent effects of the SIM card signal. That protection, however, comes with a deadly catch. Valentine can detonate the implant at any time. With no time to waste, Merlin flies Eggsy to Valentine's headquarters. Disguised as Arthur, Eggsy prepares to walk straight into the heart of the operation and stop Valentine once and for all. Eggsy successfully makes his way past the guards at Valentine's headquarters and reaches the private event inside. For a moment, it looks like his disguise as Arthur is working perfectly. But the illusion does not last. Charlie, who is attending the gathering with his family as one of Valentine's chosen guests, recognizes him. With his cover blown, Eggsy and Merlin suddenly find themselves in a dangerous situation. At the same time, Roxy manages to destroy one of Valentine's satellites in space. It is a major victory, but the relief is short-lived. Valentine has a backup satellite ready to go. It will take a little time to reactivate, but the threat is still very real. With the clock ticking and options running out, Eggsy makes a drastic suggestion. He tells Merlin to trigger the failsafe in the implanted chips. eliminating nearly everyone who carries one before Valentine can fully activate his plan. After landing safely, Roxy immediately contacts Michelle and urges her to lock her daughter in the bathroom, following Eggsy's instructions. At that very moment, Valentine activates the signal. Across the world, chaos erupts. People turn violently against one another. Even Michelle falls under the influence and nearly harms her own child. Inside the headquarters, Eggsy pushes forward to stop Valentine, but first he must face Gazelle. The two engage in a fierce fight. Despite her deadly skill, Eggsy manages to defeat her. In the final moments, he uses one of her own sharpened prosthetic blades to strike Valentine, ending his life. With Valentine dead, the signal shuts down instantly. The worldwide violence comes to an abrupt end, and the chaos finally subsides. After everything is over, Eggsy shares an intimate moment with Princess Tilda of Sweden, who had been taken hostage earlier in Valentine's scheme. Not long after, Eggsy officially steps into his new role as Galahad, carrying on Harry's legacy. He returns home to find his mother at the bar with Dean. This time, things are different. Eggsy offers his mother and baby sister a new home, far away from the abuse and fear they have endured. Dean reacts with anger and tries to attack him, but Eggsy is no longer the same reckless young man. With calm precision, he takes Dean down effortlessly and stands his ground against the remaining thugs, proving that he has truly become a Kingsman. So the moral of the story is, if someone gives you a medal with a secret number on it, keep it, train your dog nicely, never trust free SIM cards, and always punch suspicious mirrors before you drown.